My entitled brother thought he could forge my signature to use our inherited family estate as collateral for his failing tech startup. He expected me to just play along and absorb the debt to protect the family name. But he forgot I literally audit financial fraud for a living. Watch how I turned his felony forgery into a legal trap that cost him his company and his entire inheritance. Through my platform, ClearCoin, I constantly warn my audience about the psychology of entitled family members and the absolute necessity of monitoring your credit and assets. But the most calculated financial predator I ever encountered was my older brother, Julian. Julian has always been the golden child, convinced he's the next big tech billionaire despite having zero business sense. Last year, our grandfather passed away and left us a fully paid-off commercial property valued at $800,000. Split exactly 50-50 in a joint trust. A few months ago, Julian came to me begging to use the property as collateral to secure a massive $500,000 commercial business loan for his new revolutionary app. I gave him a hard, absolute no. I don't mix family with high-risk debt. I thought that was the end of it. But last Tuesday, I received a routine compliance notice in the mail from a major commercial lender regarding a newly recorded lien on my property. My blood ran completely cold. I immediately logged into the county clerk's digital database and pulled the deed records. Staring back at me was a set of loan origination documents with my signature completely forged at the bottom, stamped by a shady notary Julian must have paid off. I drove straight to his rented luxury downtown office. He was sitting with his feet on his desk, wearing a designer suit bought with stolen loan money. He didn't even flinch when I dropped the forged documents on his keyboard. He actually laughed. He smugly told me, "The app launches next month. We're going to be worth $10 million. I'll pay the loan off in cash and give you a little bonus for being so dramatic. Don't be a jealous buzzkill." He honestly believed that because we were brothers, I would just sit quietly with $500,000 of fraudulent debt hanging over my head while he played pretend CEO. He severely underestimated my corporate ruthlessness. I didn't scream, and I didn't negotiate. I went straight to my corporate attorney and a forensic handwriting expert. Because he pledged a jointly owned asset using a forged signature to secure commercial funding, it wasn't a family dispute. It was federal bank fraud, identity theft, and grand larceny. We drafted an ironclad, irrevocable contract and cornered him in the bank's lobby the next morning. I gave him a cold, non-negotiable ultimatum. He either signs over his 50% equity in our grandfather's commercial property entirely to me and transfers 100% of his tech startup's intellectual property and assets to my LLC, or I walk right up to the bank manager's desk with the forensic forgery report and have him arrested by federal agents before lunch. Faced with a 10-year federal prison sentence, he started hyperventilating and signed every single page right there in the lobby. I immediately contacted the lender, proved the sole ownership, and legally forced the immediate recall of Julian's business loan. His startup collapsed overnight. I didn't even keep his app. I sold the intellectual property to his biggest competitor for $150,000 cash. I now own $1 million commercial property entirely in my name, and Julian had to move back into our parents' basement. He wanted to forge his way to the top, so I gave him a permanent lesson in the cost of financial fraud.